morning to be joined by Jared Braun from the Fort St. John Association for Community Living. How are you doing today, sir?
Fantastic. Good to be with you, Dub.
Thank you so much for being here to tell us all about the association. I know we've had you guys on quite a bit in the last 6 months or so talking about what you do in the community because you're in the middle of a big capital campaign. You're doing some very cool things and moving your admin offices out of the building you're in, renovating that building to turn it into this wonderful community center.
Celebrating 65 years.
I mean, that too, right? On top of everything else.
Yeah.
It's just awesome to hear about. I do want to start, though, with a bit about what the association does, which I know we could probably spend half an hour talking about that but if somebody's here new to Fort St. John or doesn't know exactly what it is you do at the association, tell us a bit about that and the mandate and sort of what you're doing in the community.
Well, our mission is to support individuals with developmental disabilities and complex needs to achieve full and meaningful lives in our community. And so every single one of our programs is geared towards that end. And so what that looks like in really practical ways is we provide housing. So people have homes that it's their home. They can live either independently or with supports by our staff right here in Fort St. John. You know, if we go back to the 1960s, people with these types of needs were living in institutions, very non-personal, excluded from society. And so our aim is to include them. So housing is a big part of what we do. We also work with individuals to help them find employment that's meaningful for them, that's fair pay, connect them with employers that are going to benefit from having those employees work with them. Lots of community engagement, and so we'll see people connected with our organization around town doing bowling nights and diamond art activities and hanging out with the seniors and over at the college. And so we do a lot to get people connected in the community, building friendships, having social activities. And then we do a lot of advocacy work as well, right? So making sure that those with developmental disabilities and complex needs are getting the medical care and the psychological care that they need to be able to thrive and succeed in our community.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before. I think, beyond sort of the sort of everyday challenges that someone who's differently abled faces, just getting around town, as you say, attending businesses, because our society is set up for able-bodied people like you and I, or whatever, if we want to say it that way. I apologize if that's clunky, but anyway, it's navigating the system to find support that can be really, I suppose, intimidating, also extremely challenging. That's a big part of what you do as well, is how can we help these people find the supports that we can offer, but also the government offers and other sort of organizations offer as well to, as you say, help them live full lives. Right? Yeah.
And even this week, our CEO and our Director of Services are in Prince George, meeting with our colleagues and partners from Community Living BC and BC Housing. These are organizations, government organizations that we depend on for the resources we need. But often they don't personally know as well what the needs are, what the impacts are. And so, even that at our highest level of leadership is taking that initiative to express, any concerns and gaps in services, barriers that we need to overcome, so that those that we support don't run into that. We're seeking to be on the front lines to make sure that the path is as simple as possible. But it's challenging, right? Everybody knows you're navigating the healthcare system and often feeling like up here in Fort St. John, maybe we're a little bit isolated and whatever. Our organization is doing everything we can, and we've got an incredible team. Over 90 employees serving in support worker roles all the way to different administrative roles. And it's phenomenal what we're able to accomplish when we put that effort forward.
Yeah, and I mean, as you say, for 65 years now, this organization's been doing that here at Fort St. John, which is just phenomenal that there's been people doing this that long already. So let's talk quick about the capital campaign that I mentioned. You've kind of reached your sort of goal that you had at the start, but there's always more, building costs going up, that sort of thing. Uncertainty with our friends in the South and all that too as well. So tell us a bit about that and sort of the more need that you have even more to kind of continue to meet your goals and make this great community
Yeah.
center that you want to.
Well, I mean, even this last week was kind of an expression of that need. We, took another big step in kind of clearing out that building. So we still had one program that was operating in there. Of course, we'd moved our admin team over to the new building we have across from Save On Foods there.
And the original building we're talking about is on 100th Ave.
Yes,
kind of
right beside Treaty 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So been there since the 1980s. And so we did a clean out of there, which is, when you've been in a building for over 40 years, the amount of stuff that you collect. But it's a big step forward now in getting ready to do the renovation. And we're, looking forward to getting contractors in place very soon to begin the renovation. But even just seeing the amount of people that are working, in that space, and we've moved some temporarily over to the office. We're going to be using a space with the North Peace Seniors Housing in the in-between time while the renovation happens. But it's that, we're serving so many people, and we have a robust staff team to support them. We need a building and a center that allows for that growth because, we're expecting that year over year, it could be upwards of a 5% increase in demand for services. And so we need a space that's conducive, that's well functioning, that's well equipped, and
well equipped into the future,
exactly.
Not just for now.
Yeah, and so our initial goal was to try and raise $800,000, and we're right around that mark right now. But we recognize that to really make this community center as effective as possible, we need to try and get to that $1 million mark. And we believe with the community support, we can do that, and we've got great momentum, and we've already had incredible support. We can just keep building off of that, so that hopefully by this fall, we have a fully functioning, beautiful community center that won't just benefit our organization, but will benefit other organizations. Will be available for the business community, for individuals to come in. We'll have a cafe, have a meeting room space, commercial kitchen, multimedia room that can be rented and used for collaborative efforts. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, and as you've said on previous occasions, a space for the community to use, a space for people you're helping to have jobs and work there and also use.
Yes.
We can all use it kind of together. What a wonderful initiative. Okay, we're going to get back to how people can still help on this kind of near the end. But I thought we'd take a minute, Jared, just to talk a bit about your journey. You're the stewardship manager,
yes,
director,
correct.
right? And I just want to talk a bit about you coming to a place where you're, in the business of advocating for the things you advocate for, donations and stuff, and sort of working with the Association for Community Living. Was this something you always said, I'd like to be able to work in nonprofits one day and just help the community as much as I can? Was this kind of always an ambition of yours?
Yeah, I've found myself involved in nonprofit for most of my career, and I think this particular role now is really a culmination of a big part of my passion, and that's being a storyteller. It's helping nonprofits to gain the exposure that they deserve and they need to be able to effectively do the work they do. So often, we go about our lives and we're distracted by so much content and media,
so much,
and we're busy with our families and jobs, and we don't recognize, the needs and the opportunities and the exciting things that are happening right here in our community that have a benefit, that make Fort St. John better. And so to be in a role now where I get to tell the story of the organization and of those that we support and of those who are partnering with us, and it's exciting. I heard you and Katerina talking before about movies and some of the favorite movies you have and that you're introducing your children to. And I that's what I really see my role is getting to invite people into a story that they feel engaged with, that they feel excited about, and what's something that makes a story interesting? It's the villain, right? The reality is that there are villains in the work that we do. We talked about that before. People feeling isolated, that they're not included, that they don't have housing, that they don't have jobs. These are these things that we're up against. And the story that we're inviting people into is that you and I, as community members, can be heroes in the story. And the guides really are the individuals themselves, as they show us this is where we're going as a society. This is what we need. Yeah. And you're invited to be a part of a story of transformation, of seeing, when you get involved in overcoming those villains, there's emotion in that. There's inspiration. that really is something different than when you just get internally focused. We're so easy focused on our own selves, and when we look beyond ourselves and we get involved in making people's lives better and helping them, have seamless integration into our community, that's energizing for any of us. And so my job, is telling stories. We're going to be working on some incredible marketing initiatives. A lot of people got to see Doug's story, and he's a great example, right? His relationship with the Huskies, and he just had an awesome opportunity at the Crystal Cup to be kind of the local celebrity, right? And that's someone well-connected in an organization. We're going to be telling more stories like that through video and invite people to follow us on social media. We're going to be doing a fun photo shoot, and we're going to be doing a kind of a capstone summary video that really highlights all the different work we do, including some individuals who've been a part of our organization for many years, telling the story from both supported individuals and staff. So that's the privilege of my role.
Amazing. All right. I want to wrap this up in kind of two sections. First of all, if you are inspired to donate, whether you're an individual or you're a company, you're a corporation, and we've got some donations we'd like to make to help you out, how can that person get in contact and say, I'd like to help out in some way? Even if it's volunteer hours, I suppose, as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Most simple way is just go to our website, fsjacl.com, and there's an opportunity on there to donate, to sign up as a volunteer, to request more information. And we're doing an exciting thing to recognize everybody that's donating, particularly for the capital campaign. Any donations, $100 or more, are people's names or their business name is going to be added to an art piece. It's a beautiful, huge, life-size butterfly that's going to be on the wall in the cafe. And every name of every donor of $100 or more is going to be on there. We have different tiers of sponsorship. So friends of FSJ ACL, Braun, silver, gold, and then there's platinum donors of $10,000 or more. We'll have a special art piece that will go above a fireplace that's going to be in this cafe. And so all the information is right on our website there on how people can donate, or they can just reach out to us on our social media, call our office, and connect with me personally if they want to learn more about the work and what the dollars go towards. People are always wanting to know about that. When I'm giving, what difference is that actually making? What's the impact on that? And that matters to us, and that's a big part of my job is paying attention to the different metrics. When you give, where does that dollar go, that you can feel positive about your donation having an impact right here in Fort St. John.
And then the second part of that is for the person who might want to access your services, the family member, the friend who says, I know someone who could use some help, even if they don't know what that help looks like at the moment. Same question, Jared. How do they get? What's the best way to contact? Same
spot. So our website, fsjacl.com. There is a section on there that speaks to that. Family members who have a family member who could benefit from our services, how to engage with that. We act as the advocates and as the connection points to CLBC where the application would need to go through. CLBC is the one who gives the funding and provides the contracts, but we want to try and help be the guides to make that connection as seamless and smooth as possible, introduce people to the right connections, find out what the best services are, and do so in as evasive way as possible. We encourage people to visit our website if they're unsure, if their family members would qualify, and we will help them with that journey in every way we can.
Okay. And a phone number as well for people who may just prefer talking on the
You're
phone.
not going to get it off me. I don't have it memorized.
That's okay. That phone number also available at fsjacl.com. I will look it up for you if you're listening right now. You can just text me at 787-2222 and I can give that number to you.
Thanks,
as well. Jared, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. That's Jared Braun from the Fort St. John Association for Community Living.
Join us next Thursday for the next edition of Vocal for Local, brought to you by the Fort St. John Co-op. If you have a small business and would like to be featured for free, call us at 787-7100 or email reception@moosefm.ca.